He's kind of short. He's only like 5'9". I'm 5'8". I'm manifesting a tall man. One of the other guys I'm talking to is 6'7". I'm not a regular girl. You wouldn't be able to afford my engagement ring. I'm getting an 8-carat cushion cut vintage engagement ring.
I don't know anything about rings. How much is that?
About $200,000.
Girl, you want a $200,000? Are you insane?
My ring has to sparkle from across the street. Like, you have to see that shit. It's gonna blind people.
But that's so superficial. That's like so superficial.
She said so. This is gonna ask a quick question. Would you date her?
No.
Let's get it. Shake it like understand who I is. Not that many gon' do it like this. Bob your head, we can hit my shit when I'm on my shit.
Girl, ain't nobody getting pregnant or having any unwanted babies.
Well, for $200,000, you're gonna have to get some.
Exactly. I dot my T's crossed and my I's dotted.
But that's my own little what do you call it? New thing that I'm just like, is this what they really want?
I don't think so. Like, because I don't think so. I think like money just isn't like attractive to them. Like, they just don't like when we see an ambitious, like, driven man, that turns us on. That does not turn a guy on to like I think they don't want like a girl that's like bad with money. I think that's like a turn off. Mm-hmm. I think that like they don't want a girl that's like, you know, doesn't have, like, is terrible with finances, whatever. But like, I just don't see guys like being like, oh my gosh, that's so sexy, she's the CEO, like the same way girls are. Like,
that's true. No, that's
my ambition.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said the men that date me are attracted to my ambition.
Sure.
I would have agreed with you, Paul, until watching that podcast that you were on, and all these women that they're pushing these traditional values on that could barely even formulate a complete sentence. And that's why I wanted to do the reaction with you on there, because these other girls who are normally on there, and they're like pushing this whole thing that we don't care about this, we don't care about that. Meanwhile, these are just only fan girls that you're trying to push these type of values on. I'm like, this whole thing makes no sense.
Well,
I agree with that. All right. If you're trying to, turn a 304 into a housewife, if you don't know what 304 is, type in 304 and put it on the calculator and turn it upside down and read the word that it looks like. And she has a point. Now, I do think that there are men out there that see something that they're visually appealing to, and you got these ladies out here who are for the streets, okay?
For the streets,
and they're trying to make those people, that type of person, a housewife, and it fails every single time. Okay, if you're expecting monogamous relationships, like, hey, we're likely going to do some type of content on the people that are in polyamorous relationships and monogamous relationships, and there's other different sects of that type of dynamic and stuff as well. Right. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm of the opinion, if two consenting people go into something knowing that they want to be out here doing whatever, fine, that's great. The thing that I have a problem with is when you get into something with somebody expecting one thing, and then they flip the script on you, and you have no control over what you're now going to end up losing out on because the other person's not happy with what that person changed to.
A decision was made without even you being consulted.
Yes. That's where I have a problem. Hey, if y'all want to, have your sneaky links and do whatever, and both of y'all agreed to it beforehand, great. Have at it. I have no problems with that type of lifestyle, but it's the flip that makes me angry 90% of the time.
Right.
Well, that's the problem with Fresh and Fit, is they just bring on like the trashiest girl. And I said that on the podcast. I was like, do you guys think you're in like a little bit of a bubble? Like,
but I think that's what they see women as, though. I don't think they see women as like actual functional human beings.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
hello.
Hi. He was on earlier.
Looks like Dave Chappelle light.
This dude needs to grow some masculinity.
I totally disagree with the point of, what was it, women.
Let me turn up a little bit because he's quiet.
Thinking that men.
It might be weird because they're still going to be loud. He's just going to be loud.
A lot of money or more money.
I'll turn it back down.
It's just simply not true.
You're hard to hear. You're kind of low. So can you say that again?
His volume does come
Like,
up.
Okay.
yeah, didn't get that.
I said, men don't value women that make a lot of money. It's not really a turn on for us guys.
So how much money do you make, sir?
God.
Oh gosh.
Okay. This is going to be a whole lesson. This right here, the rest of this content is going to be a lesson in what not to do. And watch how she talks to him and listen to the way he responds to her. And we're going to give a grade on how he responds back and what she says. It's going to be A, B, C, D, or F. All right. So Sean, let's give an independent grade. Okay. And then I want the people in the comment section to let us know how you grade this back and forth that they're about to have.
Hello?
How much money?
Oh, you're back.
Why is that important?
Okay. Maybe it's my device. Let me switch on to a different device.
Should I made the man run away?
No, I think
men that make like $60,000 a year are going to be the ones that say, "Oh,
How
you
much
don't care about how much
60.
money a woman makes." Fuck at it.
I
I
make
think
more
he
than
was
that.
talking
I
about
don't
my
care.
theory about I
not
don't
getting any of
believe
it.
that because I just think that they want to be able to be the breadwinners to leave these women destitute and begging. Because after the whole OnlyFans thing, so many guys were so excited. I can't wait till these women fail and then they're just completely out and homeless and begging for pieces of change outside. It's like, Jesus Lord, who hurt you? Man, calm down.
Well, no, I think it's not that. I think like people don't enjoy like seeing people cheat and win.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
in this example, like these girls are kind of cheating, right? They don't really have any real skills. They're just like hot, sell their body on the internet, and then they get to win.
Preach it.
Hotness, right?
What?
These girls, they have to maintain that hotness. You work out.
Okay.
These girls,
No,
some of them
BBLs are
naturally,
easy.
like skinny and pretty, but other ones, like they have to work out. They have to do like, a lot more fitness than I have to do to be able to take their clothes off on the internet and have people want to look at them.
Yeah, but like,
BBL and breast
but for
augmentations are easy.
$30K a month, could you find the motivation to like not eat as much? Like that's not
$30K a month, not having to be in the gym. So I don't know.
What?
I said I could make that in a month, not having to be in a gym. So.
Well, I know, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about the OnlyFans girls. Like that's
Yeah.
the topic. Like I think men are happy with their downfall because you're watching these girls cheat essentially and win. Because a guy could never do that. So
But
I think when they say like, oh, like they're in the streets, whatever, like I mean, usually like it's a certain type of guy that's gonna like go out of his way to comment that. But I'm saying like I would guess it's because we're essentially watching them cheat and win. Like,
all right, I gotta hop off at work, and I'm gonna have to do some other work. So I'll if you're still on later, I'll come back on. But...
Okay.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye. But Pearl, that's also then if we're saying that, it's the same reason why they would turn around and tell me that I can't complain because of not having a certain type of privilege. As someone's going to have an upper hand at anything. So then if we can then turn around and say, oh, well, you can't cry because you're not society's whatever and you're not this, well, then you can't cry because you're a man and that woman got a breast augmentation in the BBL.
Okay, I know, but we're not talking about like we're like the whole point was we're saying like why do these guys like are they excited for these girls' downfall? Like these girls have to work at Subway after OnlyFans closes. I'm saying it's because we're watching them essentially cheat. I don't think it's because men want to be the breadwinners or anything like that. I think like these guys are irritated that girls can just take off their clothes and have an easy life.
That makes sense.
But these are still the same men that are saying that life isn't fair for any other woman that complains about, oh, well, I don't look at this and I don't look like that. They'll turn around and say, well, it's not my fault you're average looking. It's not my fault that you're this and third. And you have to suck it up and say, you know what? You're right.
Do you know what she's talking about?
I don't know what she said.
I can't even. If you were to ask me, if you were to say, I'll give you $200,000 to accurately translate
a ring?
what she just said,
You want an 8-carat ring?
I'm going to fail. I'm going to not be $200,000 richer because what she said made no sense.
I know.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
In regards to like,
hey, you get back over
these
here.
are the same guys that are saying that these women cheated. Yes, they did. The breast augmentations and the BBLs to be able to get them. I'll take
but
that. But then,
but those
sorry,
girls are
but
getting
also
sexual attention, typically, not like relationship attention.
But they're still getting the money. But they only also with that, I can't then turn around and say, oh, it's not fair because I don't have blonde hair or I don't have this feature and it doesn't make me quit. And then they'll turn around and say, okay, well, that's your business. That doesn't mean society and everyone needs to see you as a preference. So it's the same way. It's just like, okay, someone has a fair advantage over something. So it's like, okay, the same way I have to be okay with it is the same way I don't understand.
I agree. That's why I don't care what the OnlyFans models are doing. All I'm saying is like I don't think it's these men thinking, I want to be the breadwinner. I hope OnlyFans models go to Subway. Like I don't think that's what it is.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, to me
that was him
doesn't
that
make
said that.
sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna? You said you wanted to come on. Oh, you're talking about money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, essentially, like, guys really don't care about women, like, money. I mean, it can be an asset, but I mean, generally speaking, like, when if a guy like does care about a woman's money, it's typically because
he doesn't have any.
They make little to no money, so it's like if she's making more than him, then he's essentially
looking for a come up, looking for someone to take care of him.
Be an attraction to him. I'm sorry, I'm like super nervous. So if a woman is wanting a guy that makes more than her, and she's making a lot of money, like say she's like in the top 15%, that's what $75,000 a year. That's a small percentage. That's like not that many guys make that. I don't even make that. I wish I made that. But again, it's like. And typically, when you find guys like that, they typically want something. They pretty much want. They typically, I don't want to say they don't go after the average looking women, but they
wrap it up.
Spellman's in Atlanta too. Second of all, I'm vacillating here trying to.
With the Wrap It Up box, you've got that same power right in your pocket.
Expect a lot out of a woman, so.
Well.
That's what I was
gonna say. I agree because, like, what is your money to a guy that has money? Like, it's nothing.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm going to correlate this into a theory video, and it's going to be like, because even like he was just saying about, if a guy makes a certain type of money, he cannot get access to a certain type of looking woman.
So it sounds like she does content too, because she alluded to that several times.
I'd like to watch it.
I would like to go to her page and see what the hell she's talking about out there.
Right.
Because if she has people that follow her that are more than what follow the dating game, then
impossible.
Then I would we're doomed. That's just it. If she has a lot of people that agree with her in this type of thinking, we are doomed.
You know who she reminds me of? Yes.
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 Well, most of the time, if you're looking on YouTube, these guys are getting access to, again, women that cannot even formulate a complete sentence. So
but that's not necessarily true if we look at like the top, like the billionaires, right? Like a lot of those, like even let's take like Donald Trump, billionaire, right? Melania Trump, like that woman speaks 3 languages. She was a model, right? But like she definitely could articulate more than a sentence.
So today, I'm very excited to announce Be Best.
I should have said more.
I mean, are we talking about in English?
Those are the guys that clearly have been around the block and know common sense wise. You do need someone that can actually talk about different forms and societies and stuff.
A good majority of really high earners like that have a person next to them that likely highly educated, likely comes from a good family that has brought them up in a way that has a higher standard of just being in the world.
Right.
Okay. And they're not drainers or suckers of your resources and things like that. They also give back and contribute in various other kinds of ways. Some of them are Ivy League educated, people
right.
that chose to then maybe go a different way when being in a relationship with somebody. And I don't get how these average level thought pockets think that they could go out there and snag themselves these multi-millionaire dudes, bringing nothing but looks to the table when you're competing with Ivy League educated, come from a solid foundation and background, likely has a net worth of their own that they're coming with, and think that they have a legit shot. That's what we're talking about here, and that's what some of these people don't see.
But King, you're forgetting the most important thing.
Uh-oh.
They're manifesting it.
Hey.
So it's going to happen. They spoke to the universe. The universe said, all right, just manifest it. You got this.
Yes.
Right. Those are the new age. Those are the older gentlemen that actually have been around and know how you move around circles. These newer guys, like, again, it's just the idea of, and then most of the time they're moving the goalposts. 1 minute you're saying that this is a valuable person, and the next minute it's someone else.
So what guys are you talking about? Are you talking about like Fresh and Fit?
Not just them, but just guys that kind of like circulates around those type of those group of men.
No.
Relax.
No.
Remember your blood pressure.
No.
Your blood pressure.
No. No. No.
Yes.
Even with the idea of money, I don't even understand if we're talking about that concept, because if you're not even getting married to the person, why would you even care who makes what money?
That is a valid.
Are you talking about like girls?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, sorry, I went back to the point that we were making earlier about the theory that I was talking about. If they wanted to leave women to be destitute if they're not making this type of money, but then the gentleman was just saying the guys don't care about money. And then I was pointing out, why are we talking about money if you're not even marrying the person?
Well, I think like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong as a guy, but like, I don't think a guy minds if a girl makes a lot of money. I just don't think like they're not attracted.
Oh, we're chasing after.
When a guy makes a lot of money and is successful, we are attracted to that. We want to like have sex with that, like that, like ambition, power, whatever it is.
Hey, to the people that are out there watching that, what you just said and broke down is the basic form of how you can say that. So if you're out here struggle dating, like I was at one point, all right? If you're out here struggle dating when you don't have the cash to necessarily be out here dating like that, don't. But I guarantee you, when you level up as a guy and you have those resources out there in the dating world, if you are an ambitious, driven person with cash, you can walk outside and just do this. And it doesn't matter if you're 5'8" like your boy here. If you can provide like that on that kind of level, to where you aren't struggle dating, you have a lot more dating options than somebody that is a struggle pookie.
Unless you're, the top 10% of good-looking guys, and it doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have.
Yes. Now, exactly. What Sean just said is right. If you are a Vegas, Chippendale, male review type looking dude, pause, then your looks, opens more doors for you. It's just the way it works. The sooner you understand that and get it, which most guys do, most guys get it. I don't know why the ladies don't, except for the host at the top here. She gets it. She gets it. But I'm curious if it was her upbringing that allowed her to get it or what. So
yeah, I think her dad taught her early.
Men don't feel like that towards women. Like, men aren't lined up to date Oprah, for example.
Yeah, and to add what you're saying,
big facts.
Like, we don't care about your money. It's okay if if my girl like makes a lot of money, if she makes more money than me. It's just that we don't want that feeding that into her ego that she could lord it over me. That's what guys, and that's what I particularly am afraid of. If you make more money than me, that's fine. I don't want you hovering that over me, because it's gonna
get there.
It's gonna
You can do it.
Come on.
It's gonna cause a lot of division in a relationship, and most guys don't want that.
Have you had a woman that's made more money than you and she's been holding it over your head?
No.
So why are you afraid of something that's never even happened to you?
Did you see what she did?
Go ahead and tell me.
All right.
Because I saw it, but I want to hear what you had to say. Yeah.
So that type of question where she put that back on him were questions that I would get all of the time that I would fail at in my last or my past relationships when having like conversations like this. Because what the guy said and what she fired back at, she totally dismissed when she was looking at something to disqualify what he said. So let's retranslate what this guy talked about. What he said was this: the typical guy, the average guy. Now y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the average guy only has an issue with ladies or their partners that make more money than them when it is then turned around and used back as a weapon to control, or the moment that she gets angry.
They weaponize it.
They weaponize it. I have an example that just happened today that, Sean, I'm going to let you know offline.
Okay.
I can't put this one out there because the person that told me this watches the dating game.
Gotcha.
So, but the moment that the person told me, I was kind of like, oh, well, okay. But it happened from a situation in which she got angry. She reacted in a way that had a cause and effect against the guy. And it's like, why? You know?
She got emotional.
Yes.
She acted on her emotions.
Yes. And because she's the breadwinner, she made a decision to do something that changed and affected, the guy.
Because they got to win at any cost.
And it's not that he's saying that you would. Statistically, it seems to appear that way. And when men I know that I'm talking with are in those type of dynamics of a relationship, it tends to happen to where the moment something doesn't go her way, she hoards something that, she controls the purse strings over you to attack you in a way. I don't know if it's like attacking your manhood or anything, but it's like to let you know you ain't gonna do this, or you ain't gonna be a certain way to me, or you know what, I'm gonna teach you. And that's what he's talking about.
Right.
So I can say that I've never had that happen to me as well in my relationships.
Me either.
Has not happened.
Same.
Yet at the same time, it can, and I think statistically it would. So I'm just gonna avoid that shit altogether. We can have fun, but I'm not gonna have a long-term serious relationship with somebody that makes more than me, that values could kind of lean towards doing that.
If she lords it over you.
Yep.
Well, because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen
on social media, like your actual parents.
No, like one of my family members. I won't say who, because I have one of my friends that are watching. But one of my family members actually has she's pretty much the breadwinner, like in her marriage with her husband, and like even like one of the most simplest tasks, like they had this super big fight over like furniture like a few years back, and like it's just I don't know if it makes sense, but it's like he doesn't really have a job, and like she's pretty much the breadwinner, she pretty much pays for everything, and so it's like
I'm about to put this guy on
it's frustrating in her
speed.
In her like situation, being the breadwinner and like him not working. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, if this isn't your actual mom and dad, where it's like, okay, I actually have someone that I can pick up the phone or I can see them as an example, and this is just like a random family member, and then
it's family. What's it matter?
He doesn't even have a job. So based off of their marriage, I'm sure that he didn't just not have a job overnight. This is something that they both had decided that that's what they're going to do. So if she's being disrespectful to that man, that's kind of something that they formulated as their relationship.
Well, I think it's more of like, well, for one, I think you're allowed to like develop a fear based on things you've seen.
Yeah, real quick, kind of off topic. I can't give credibility to someone who can't even get on camera, who has their camera pointed at their bed sheets.
Yep, just going this whole entire time, and she was talking about having to change something and fix something. She was going to fix it, but yet she never did.
Yeah, I can't lend any credibility to her. So that's all I have to say.
So I don't think it really matters like how they're related to them. You know, like my parents are married, but I'm still afraid of getting divorced because I've seen relatives get divorced. But like the second thing is, I think it's just like guys don't like the attitude and the entitlement that comes with like girls that make a lot of money. So
can we get like a photocopier that like photocopies women, or at least traits of women? Cause we need to photocopy her.
Yes, she needs to be cloned.
Yeah, she just seems like down to earth, what men are looking for, and she's not combative. She's able to get her points across, but she's not being aggressive about it. Even her voice sounds nice. It's inviting. It's pleasant. Where the other ones, they're just kind of, you know, it's just nails on a chalkboard. Mm-hmm. So,
and two, you can tell she listens to understand, and she doesn't listen to
wait to strike.
Yeah. Yes, like everybody else did. Every time she would come back and talk, she would be like, okay, and then restate something or get her point across without really being combative about it, man. Right. Like, it's an art. I can tell you, I'm not good at it all the time.
Right.
She did it excellent this entire clip here. Yay.
That's for her, not for you.
So it's not necessarily like there's some very sweet and like feminine girls that make money, but it's the like I'm better than you attitude, which sometimes comes when girls make a lot of money. The I'm above a guy that makes like I'm better than a guy that doesn't make the same amount of money as me. Like nothing to do with values, not who they are as a person, but even like when we were just listening, like $200K ring. Like that's crazy. Like that's insane to me. I'll take your word.
So that was the end of the clip. Yeah, she did a great job. I mean, like, she's definitely level-headed. She gets her point across. I have no issues with her. I'll definitely check out more for her content. So,
hey, y'all definitely should. You definitely should. Y'all definitely should. I'm gonna tell you, I would have liked to have seen more of the first girl that was talking and that guy. She would have obliterated him. And I was wrong about something. I was saying that it was going to be the lesson between. It was actually the other girl and him. That guy was not prepared. He should not do content like this whatsoever until he's ready. Right. Okay. Hey, look, if you want to learn to get ready, hit up the dating game. We'll hook you up for free. We'll do a free 30-minute consult to get you ready to have conversations like that, man. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not ready to be on a panel like that.
Nope.
I'm not good at certain things. Like, I'll avoid certain topics and things like that because depending on what the subject is, I'm not necessarily good at. What you came on and did, bro, not ready. And I don't say that in a negative way. I'm trying to help you understand that you should be better prepared going forward and not call into something like that, because that was a D+ grade for what you did, brother.
Barely D. I mean, I would probably, it was closer to an F. Couldn't get his thoughts out. You know, if you don't know what you're going to talk about or not ready to be able to have a conversation where it's at least somewhat smooth, don't call in. Just wait, you know?
And
wait your turn.
And they gave him the floor to speak. He was not interrupted at all, which can tend to happen on a lot of these panels and platforms. The guys can't get a word in before they're interrupted based off of something that they said or whatnot. They afforded him the opportunity to speak, and he dropped the ball hard.
Butterfingers. So, I mean, you got anything else for this one?
Hey man, that first couple of minutes was definitely tragic. I could feel your blood boil standing right next to you. Yeah. And I told you, man, like this one, it's why I couldn't stop. It's why I couldn't stop. It got me. My blood started boiling. I think I might have been pacing as I was watching the video from my phone, pacing like, oh man, I can't wait to talk about this one. So
she's just deplorable. So.
Yeah, that absolutely deplorable, man. But that's all I got, brother. How about you?
No, that's it. I'm good.
Bet. All right, then.
All right.
Let's get it. Shake it like understand who I is. Not that many gon' do it like this. Bob your head, we can hit my shit, but I'm on my shit. I ain't has no chill. I'm who I are, I'm who I is. Taylor Susan, I play the part. Buckify, how you mesmerize. Black Austin Pies, man that I'm stupid. Then again, oh so clever. On my loony, pour that.